This is a really good addition to the Peaky Blinders franchise with a fully formed character in the way of Tommy Shelby. Great direction from Tom Harper and brilliantly written by the show's original creator Stephen Knight. This film ends in a rather hollow victory, but is also quite satisfying as well. But we'll leave you answering the question, is this the end for Peaky Blinders? Let's get into Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man. So, Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man is set during World War II, and the Nazis are trying to flood the British financial system with counterfeit bills. Approximately 350 million is going to be spread across the entire country and is being facilitated by the character John Beckett, being played by Tim Roth. And he is going to all these sort of criminal enterprises and approaches the Peaky Blinders, which is being led by Duke Shelby, which is Tommy Shelby's son. And he basically proposes that if you help bring in this money, you'll get a percentage of it, something like 70 million out of this 350 million pot. And so he agrees. Tommy Shelby is basically living as a recluse in an old manor house and is conflicted by his own demons, dealing with trauma from his past and from the war and from grief from the loss of his family, friends, and his old life, and is wanting to just live out the rest of his days in peace. And when his sister Ada comes in to warn him that his son Duke has taken the Peaky Blinders in a different route and is a little bit of a wild card, that's when he comes back to the fold and has to rescue the group that he's loved and also hated at the same time and bring it back to its former glory, and has to try and sort of come in and rescue his son from destroying what he's built over the years. So this film does many things right and has all sorts of great little new additions and great characters in this film. One of which I think is the standout is obviously Tommy Shelby. He is fully realised, and Cillian Murphy's performance is amazing. And he has however many seasons of Peaky Blinders to have this character fully realised in his head, and it shows up on screen with every single frame that he's in. He is playing a man who is traumatized and is now a recluse living in this old manor house, and he plays that role very well. Also, I believe one of my favourite characters of the whole film was actually Ada, who was played by Sophie Rundle. Her silhouette and her outfit makes her a really strong, powerful persona, and with the hat as well creates a really alluring silhouette and really holds the family together and is the moral of the family as well. She wants to do right by them. She wants to make sure that they're going on a good path and wants to help, and what she does with the role in the film is really great. Barry Keoghan as Duke is the wild card of the family. He's very erratic and has wild character moments that will make you cringe when you're watching it. You're like, it's very sort of out of control, and a great comparison to Tommy Shelby, who is the voice of reason and will need to get into Duke's head and just be like, look, you need to settle down, man, and support his son, who he has been estranged from for all these years. And so it's great chemistry between the two of them, great conflict as well. I also feel like the costume design is absolutely terrific. Those Peaky suits are unbelievably well made and crafted and just great style. I want to be in one of those suits and wear the hat, and it just looks so cool. And when it's framed with the streets of Birmingham and Cillian Murphy's Tommy Shelby is walking to camera with the background of Birmingham City behind him, it's an amazing shot, one of the standout shots. It's only for a few seconds, but Tom Harper really frames him very well in that shot. It's sort of low and up, almost looking up at him in reverence. and it's really great shot. There's a great. I've seen the first season of Peaky Blinders, and I kind of remember that there's a scene in the first episode where Tommy Shelby is riding a horse through town, and there's a scene very similar to that that mirrors that scene. It's a great little callback. So it's when he sort of comes back to Birmingham for the first time in such a long time, and he's riding through the town in exactly the same way with the camera up and behind him, and it's a, like I say, a great callback. What I would say the weak link of the ensemble cast is Rebecca Ferguson. She plays the gypsy witch, and it's not terrible, don't get me wrong, and actually it's a lot better offering from her, from what I've seen in the past couple of films that I've seen her in. When she has good material, she can really do well with it, but I found her character to be very weird and very sort of unsettling and almost like out of place. But maybe if I go back and watch the original series, which is what this film has made me do, maybe I'll figure out who she is and where she fits in the overall story arc. And what she did, don't get me wrong, was well, but was good, but it just felt a bit off, in my opinion. And like I said, the film does end in a very hollow victory, but a very satisfying ending as well, and will make you think of like, ooh, is this the end? Maybe they might do a spin-off with Duke's character and lean into his storyline. Who knows? The music is amazing. It's very industrial and very rock and roll, and the choices they make and where they place the music is a great choice. It's really stylistic as well. There's a great shot of Tommy Shelby walking through his manor with the curtains blowing in the wind, and it has this like kind of gothic feel to it, and feels really of that time and of the show as well. It really fits with the aesthetics of the Peaky Blinders show. What was really good also was Tim Roth's character, John Beckett. He hides behind this sort of British humour, which feels very sinister, and especially when he smiles, it's like, oh, that's eerie and unsettling. It really makes your skin crawl whenever he speaks, and he generally thinks what he is doing is right, and he generally believes that in the cause that he's fighting for, even if we, the audience, feel it's 100% wrong. And so it's a great performance by Tim Roth. Really, really great. And one of my favourite scenes of the film, I think, is the scene where Tommy Shelby returns to the pub for the first time in such a long time. And there's a moment where no one recognises him. And he doesn't have to say a word. He just stands completely still. And there's one of the Peaky Blinders comes in and recognises him. And he's like, don't you know who this is? This is Tommy Shelby. And then everyone sort of, it's like a oh shit moment. It's like, oh crap. Yeah, this is not good. His presence is felt all across this whole scene. And the way he deals with the customers by handing him the grenade and being like, hold on to this for me for a minute. And yeah, it just escalates and really gives you a sense of like who Tommy Shelby is without much dialogue, without much exposition or anything like that. Like I said, he's had seasons of Peaky Blinders in his past, and it all comes to play out in this scene, and it really works in every level. It's really sort of a tight script. It flows all the way through. But yeah, like I said, go and watch this film on Netflix. It's a couple of hours long, and you will not regret it. So, by the order of the Peaky Blinders, I order you to watch Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man. Thank you very much for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. It means a great deal.